This is the Rekieta humiliation ritual arc. We start off with his locals, and they ask, are we ever getting our first 5K locals gift or not? And this guy, no, you specifically are not getting it. And here's Rekieta's response. Mind you, they've been waiting on the 5K locals gift for, I believe it's coming up on 1 full year next month.
Wow.
I think it was last November. It may have been even longer since the 5K mark was met and Rekieta promised them this tremendous locals gift.
Okay.
It's never happening. But here comes Rekieta saying, I got sidetracked by having my life asked by the government. So new cope just dropped, everybody. The reason you're not getting the 5K locals gift isn't because Nick sniffed all the money for it up his nose in cocaine. It's the government's fault. As usual, everything is data government's fault. They're oppressing me. Like, what are we doing here? Why don't you just admit that you snorted all of the 5K gift money? And the thing is, his locals now, and we're going to talk about this, his locals is now the only source of income he has. There have been no updates to the locals in terms of videos or streams in like 2 or 3 months now. It's just been a total ghost town.
What's he been doing?
No content to be had. Well, I think what honestly happened, he's completely broke. He spent all the money.
Oh.
It's impossible to believe this because he was making so much money during the Johnny Depp trial, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, but he decided that he was going to live like this highfalutin life. I'm not like the other yokels in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm a king. And so he wasted tens of thousands of dollars on garbage art, tens of thousands of dollars, cocaine up his nose, the most expensive bottles of whiskey he could find that he would down in a single sitting as though it was cheap like Jack Daniel's swill. He would just sit there and down the whole bottle, like $200, $300 bottles. But that's not even what really sunk him. Then he got in the lawsuit with Montegraph where he got felted and was paying the top priced lawyer in that field in America, in Randazza, what some people estimate was 6 figures or more now in legal fees, is still currently losing that case to Montegraph. Now has his own criminal charges that he's had to get a lawyer for. Kayla's criminal charges that he's had to get a lawyer for. April's, he now not only, because April's got him by the balls. So April's now squeezing him for not only a lawyer, but also her food, her clothes, everything she wants, she's going to get.
Yeah.
She's got Rekieta wrapped around her little finger and she's got him by the balls. So he's getting drained. She's got him by the baldo, folks. And he's being drained. So I think realistically what happened, he's flat broke, flat on his ass. He's had to sell one of his 2 properties, which you know right well, if the property is right next door to you like that, like it's on the same land, you don't want to have to sell that and have neighbors right there.
No.
Especially when you're Mr. Freedom, Mr. Privacy, Mr. Rekieta. So he's in desperate financial straits. The only thing he can rely on at this point are payments from his trust fund, which is the oil money that his parents have.
Is that even like how much do you think the payments would be?
Well, they're probably quite lucrative for him, and they were enough at least. While he basically produced no income from being a lawyer, you know, and going to school, they were enough for him to support his family of 5 kids for quite some time before the YouTube checks started coming in, right?
Okay.
So I think what happened, and pretty much everybody's hypothesized the same, when Rekieta got omni-felted at the omnibus, and he was denied on every single motion, you know, and now they denied him the ability to make any further pre-trial motions as well.
Okay.
So just omni-felted at the omnibus, we're now going straight to how do you plea at the next hearing. Rekieta's parents must have stepped in and said, son, we're not going to give you another time.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to stream. And so therefore they actually just pulled the plug.
Yeah.
They took away Rekieta's Wi-Fi. They took away his router. They sent him to his room. And now it seems about once a month, Rekieta is allowed internet privileges to spiral on Twitter and to spiral on whatever platform of choice. They allow him 1 day of internet usage, but no streaming. No internet for you, Rockets. This is like the level of cuckoldry that he's on.
Oh, man.
His parents now give him an allowance. He's like, there's no more money for Baldos. There's no more money for Coke. There's no more money for booze. It's suffering. It's suffering at the Baldo bunker.
Especially like after his like lifestyle, right? It was like it was around that. You know, party, drugs, and sex, and being degenerate, and then it was all pulled. Not like it wasn't stopped, by the way, for him to sober up, and he had an awakening. What am I doing with my life? It was forced upon him.
It was forced.
It was like the worst possible way of stopping your partying, right?
Internet lumberjack Robert Rekieta cut it down. I'm cutting it down, Rekieta. Unfortunately, that's the state of Rekieta, but he's now come back for his monthly cope session, where about once a month he gets his 1 day of internet, and he's decided to let us all know on Twitter that he is actually a coke addict. After all the sweep and all the cope from Robert Barnes and Chrissy Mayer and Dirtworm Doug TeNapel and Ethan Van Sciver and no, it was the kids' cocaine. No, it was this, it was that. Finally, from his own blowhole, we hear the truth about the blow from Nicky Rackett.
It wasn't even hard to guess.
Well, no.
We knew from before the video. Like, it's like obvious, dude.
Look at, so this is his New Year's tweet.
Yeah.
The New Year's tweet is so cringe, buddy.
He goes, Happy New Year's, everyone.
Other Baldo washers to call out. Nina Infinity, remember?
Yeah. Oh,
that Star Wars girl.
Dirt-eating bish.
Melanie Mack, although now I guess she's against
She's
him
woken up. She's woken up.
Oh, yeah. But he goes, Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. 2024 promises to be a beautiful disaster. Well, he got that part right. It was beautiful for us. It was a disaster for him. He says, don't make resolutions. Set goals. Pursue life. Be ridiculous. Find joy. Live. Laugh. Love. Like
this is wild. This is like the intro to Train Spotting. And then he quote tweets his own tweet. Go ahead.
He's dunking on himself. He goes, mouth this tweet and the dumbass who wrote it. So once again, it's a self-felt alert, but it gets worse. This guy, Lord Botha of Memes a Lot, says the dude who made that status sounds like he was on cocaine, and Rekieta admits he was.
Whoa.
He chose Baldo. He chose the coke. And now he's decided before his criminal matter, where he's charged with possession of cocaine, to admit to doing cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
So the speculation now has become, well, obviously he's taking a plea deal. He's pled guilty, and that's why he's coming out to finally admit, yes, he was on cocaine. But earlier today, Legal Mindset, he came out and said that he has inside sources from within the Baldo bunker that are saying that Rekieta is going to fight this all the way. And that the inside source says Rekieta plans on pleading not guilty.
Please.
At the hearing, after just admitting publicly on Twitter to
and he never deleted it, by the way. I checked today.
And he's doing it in multiple places. This isn't the only place that he's admitting to doing cocaine.
This is wild.
I don't know.
This rules. By the way.
Now, like the cope is, how Rekieta believes in his mind he can get away with this, is to say that the person who wrote that tweet wasn't Nick Rekieta. It was Aaron M. Holte who wrote that tweet. And so therefore, this is not an admission that he snorted cocaine, but in fact, it's Aaron who's going to take the fall for this. I honestly don't know, like, how the copes are going to hold up. Like, so far, they haven't been working out in court at all. Apparently, he's going to do this and say that somebody else wrote the tweet, and therefore it's not evidence he did cocaine. This was just yesterday. And
yeah, I saw it. We got Malcolm X.
So he says, be honest, Nick. How off chops were you when you hit send on the New Year's Eve post? He says, too up to remember, but I should have done more coke. So he's actually responding to one of the top A-logs, if not the top A-log of Nick Rekieta in the sector.
Malcolm.
Real Malcolm X, the legend. And saying to him, I should have done more coke. So even the defense that he had earlier, which is that, you know, Aaron sent that tweet, and so it was Aaron that was doing the coke, is now fallen. Now maybe,
is he drunk?
Now, I don't know. Maybe his parents bought him some booze because he was a good boy for the month. But now this is his defense, I think, is to say he's too up to remember sending the tweet. That doesn't necessarily mean that he was doing cocaine. Maybe it was Aaron that sent the tweet. Like, it's just insane. What level of cope are we on, buddy?
He's really bad.
So the new claim is, get ready, Sean from Potentially Criminal made a fake account impersonating him to send these messages.
And then verified it. Okay. Here we go. Kay Marie goes, do your kids love life when they're dirty, smelly, hungry, and begging for food and attention at school and church? And he goes, they never were.
They never were. Except for when they were. And you never did coke.
Wait.
And then Rekieta just goes, I did a mountain of cocaine.
You did. Is he going to...
So
wait,
is that also admitting that the children were abused? Or what?
That's his claim will be, I was being sarcastic. It's obviously a joke, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, Your Honor, it's obviously a joke. What him saying outright. Because the other ones you can try and cope away from a certain angle. But there it is, black and white, clear as crystal. He did a mountain of cocaine? Oh, buddy. The Barnes strategy at this point is an insanity, please.
Ralph.
So now here it comes.
Stop. No.
Head Janny, Ethan, Oliver, Ralph. Head Janny goes, Rekieta isn't on anything. He couldn't be, even if he wanted to. Which I don't believe he does.
What?
I met with him in person and know this to be a fact. So in Ralph's mind, if he meets with a person one time for 20 minutes over lunch, it means that he has enough insight into that person to know whether they're clean or dirty at any given point.
Stop.
Even months down the line. When this could be a very, changing circumstances, addicts relapse all the time for sometimes no apparent reason. But Ethan and Ralph, guys, don't worry. Ralph is going to reassure us of somebody else's sobriety when he can't even assure us of his own sobriety.
Well, he's lost his breathalyzer.
No,
have you seen that?
He lost the
breathalyzer while
he
was drunk?
Lost the breath. He lost it while he was drunk, but we're going to trust him. He's totally sober, Ralph. Sober Ralph, folks.
Oh, no. Wait, here we go. We got one of the top A-logs, Breaking Baldo News, BBN. Baldo. He goes, hey, Rekieta Law, why have you been caught correcting the narrative by your traitorous colleagues who describe you as gabbling woman? What?
But they stayed sucking him off when he was on top. They didn't know he was a crackhead while he was on top. And then Rekieta goes, But what if they did know I was a crackhead? So Rekieta here admitting that he's a crackhead, and then also admitting that April knew he was a crackhead while she was sucking him off, which I guess is self-evident when you really think about it. But this is pretty wild shit to say. Like, Rekieta's full-on Ralph tweeting.
Gabbling woman.
This spirals at another level, buddy. Holy. Okay. And then this one, what happened to that Frank's motion you said you were going to win? And Rekieta goes, I never said I was going to win. I wish I had, but I never said I would. Is he saying he wished he had said he was going to win? Or he's saying he never said that he was going to win, that he wished he had won? I don't know, man. I guess he means that he wishes he won, but he never said he would win, which is a lie. You know, they told us all along that this was an easy case. Robert Barnes told us it won't make it. You know, there's going to be a Frank's motion. He didn't even get into the Frank's process.
I like how you use Ralph's voice.
Denied. Well, that's because that's what's going on. I never said I was going to win, gay logs. Losing was part of the plan.
So he did say he'd win. He was like, today's going to be a great day. I'm going to felt it. I'm going to win. The A-logs are going to be seething. And he came back in utter silence while Kiwi Farms felt it.
Yeah, I guess Rekieta was drunk and forgot all the shit he said earlier, because then he claims to be getting healthy. And then this old grandma starts felting him. Why healthy? Alcohol and drugs do not affect you? It's that easy? Addict? Clown emojis. And then Rekieta goes, who said anything about addiction? So I guess he's admitting to doing a mountain of cocaine, but he's saying he wasn't addicted.
Why is he going on Twitter?
It was a healthy amount of cocaine.
Is he retarded? Like, get off the internet, dude.
No, his parents let him on once a month. And then
to just ruin his case. Good, I'm glad. Uh-oh.
The government did this to me. Forgive me, government. No. Oh, man. Okay, now we're getting into... Oh, wait. Here it is. People are asking, when is he streaming? And he says, soon. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming hard. And I'm coming often. That is something Ralph would say.
Wait, is that what he said? I swear, I was looking at chat for half a second.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, he's making the Ralph voice joke.
Like how Ralph would announce his comeback, you know? It starts here on Locals. Date to be announced.
Subject integrity?
The subject is integrity. We're going to hear about integrity from Rekieta.
Come on.
Mr. My 9-year-old tested positive for cocaine. Integrity from that guy. Mr. Baldo's lessons in integrity. His loadout, honesty and freedom from restraints. The cast, just for me, bitch.
Cringe.
So this? Now, this guy, he offered, this is the DUI guy, who offered to represent Rekieta in the beginning and thought Rekieta was innocent. He later on withdrew his offer to be Nick's lawyer. And Larry here says, the reason why is I removed myself from the situation because Nick kept making videos on YouTube talking about and thus hurting his case. Not a very reliable client to have. So I rescinded my offer to assist him. That's it.
DUI guy's like, there's no winning this. But he's not going to return, is he?
No, because Rekieta's cooked.
And also, he makes no money. Like, he's in, like, the Dicker spiral where it's like, oh, I'm going to still stream. It's like, yeah, but everyone hates you. There's no growth. There's no growth.
Well, it's not just that there's no growth. There's no money, for one. for two, everybody that is there hates you and spits on you, and you're just embarrassing yourself. So, I mean, he can't even be counted on to fire it up and make a couple $100 anymore. Honestly, Rekieta's in kind of a worse position than Dickers is.
Whoa!
At least Dickers was getting some hate donos and shit last night. Rekieta, it's just totally, like, no one cares anymore. And the longer and longer he goes without streaming, and, you know, it's the worse it's going to get for him. And if all of this resolves, like, in a quiet kind of way, and there's no more big blow-ups or anything to bring him attention, and there's no triumphant victory over the haters and Josh and the Kino Casino, then it's quickly going to turn to just total indifference with Rekieta. There are so many other options for people to watch. And even before all of this crazy shit happened, Rekieta couldn't keep his schedule, couldn't put together a watchable product, had killed off a huge percentage of his fan base. This nuked even more of it. And even like these guys, like Zav, are finally throwing in the towel. So what's really left for him to come back to? Not a whole lot.
And you know, it's going to be boring as. It's going to be unaloggable, snooze fest. What we need now is like April to be on the show with him. You know, some sort of like some crazy, but that won't happen.
I mean, the body cam's going to come out. He's going to get totally embarrassed by that. It's going to put even more holes in his narrative. Anybody with a brain in their head is going to know he's full of shit and retarded. He can only just rely on the dumbest and lowest of his audience, which are probably not the ones that were making the money and sending it to him. He burned his entire anime audience. You know, he's burned his entire trad dad audience. He's burned any sort of audience that was there for any sort of legal expertise. I mean, look at his own case. If he couldn't figure that one out, I mean, just saying, like, it's over. All right, there's a bit more Rekieta stuff to do.
Oh, here we go. Our friend Sean.
The conspiracy theory against Sean.
Wow.
So Rekieta is now accusing Sean of using a fake Rekieta Law account to go into Aaron M. Holte's chat every day and make Nick look like a dumbass.
Why wouldn't Sean do this?
There's no benefit to Sean to do this. What is Steel Toe gonna pay him $20 a day to do this? To give the toe a talking point? Like, Steel Toe's goal is what, $300 a day? So we're supposed to believe a professional lawyer who apparently is a working lawyer and also a YouTuber that's getting good super chat support and good viewership is going to, for $20 or $30, a small percentage of a $300 purse a day, go into Aaron M. Holte's chat and make Rekieta look like a dumbass, when Rekieta's already doing a good enough job of that himself.
Yeah.
None of it makes any sense.
Hold on, what's this? Nick's accusing me of using a fake Rekieta Law account to generate super chats for the toe.
And the Rekieta account has a check mark.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, this is the craziest conspiracy ever.
This is retarded. By the way, isn't it funny how Rekieta is sending money to Aaron?
You know, desperation.
It's desperation.
Oh, Sean's just like underfelting this desperate.
Yeah.
Like,
Percent. Frying your brain on cocaine, crack, and $high whiskey does that to you. So I don't know.
He throws a crack. That's awesome.
$high whiskey.
$high. Well, let's just say Rekieta ain't drinking the $high whiskey anymore, okay?
Not anymore.
It's the bottom shelf. It's like when you're at like a watering hole and you don't have any money. You're like, all right.
All right. Whatever the house whiskey.
Yeah. You know it's bad when you're ordering the house whiskey.
The Canadian Club, bud. Here you go.
Canadian Club is awful.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm going to shitpost, I do it myself. I don't hide under things, so. Let him cope. Let him cope, chat.
Let him cope.
Let him cope. Let him cope. Oh man, Sean just dummying him, you know? By the way, nothing that was put into the chat there was more insane than what we just saw him admit to doing mountains of cocaine and being high during New Year's Eve. Like, that's his own posts on Twitter.
Yeah.
So why would anybody need to be paid to make him look stupid in chat?
Wait, to try and generate revenue for both of them? How would this help publicity?
Where is the money?
What do you mean?
Like, follow the money. Except there's none. Because it's the Steel Toe Morning Show.